Thank you, my fellow Huntintonians. My name is Mr. Amory Hanson, and I am a historic choice for Huntington Beach. I want to thank everyone here for coming here today. We are so thrilled to be here in Norma Brandel Gibbs Park, the park named after the first woman to serve as mayor of Huntington Beach. Oh, but she's much more than that, believe me. You know, she built Central Park during her time as mayor and on city council. She helped build City Hall, Central Park, Central Library, and of course this park was named after her as well. You might even say that Norma Brandel Gibbs did everything Edward Manning did. She just did it in high heels. And Norma Gibbs really was an iconic woman, Norma Brandel Gibbs. I had the great privilege of meeting her in 2016 when I made my first run for city council. She asked tough questions, no doubt, about my campaign, but it was quite an honor to meet her, and it is unfortunate that she passed away last year, but we continue to honor her legacy and the legacy of many other former mayors. You know, we have Edward Manning I mentioned earlier. He was a very noted former mayor in Huntington Beach. He was the first mayor of Huntington Beach, actually, and then came back later on as one of the later mayors. So he was a pretty important individual in Huntington Beach's history, and I do want to give him credit. We had two of the members of my board, Mr. David E. Wentworth Sr. and Mr. Dwayne Wentworth. Their namesake or not namesake, but their great-grandfather was Mayor Manning, first mayor of Huntington Beach. We want to recognize all the former mayors, all of them. But we're here today at Gibbs Park because it is the park of a historic mayor, as I mentioned. It is also the park of the bicentennial mayor, the one who rode in our great Independence Day parade, or the bicentennial parade. I really felt this was the perfect spot to kick off not only my Mr. Amory Hanson's 2022 City Council campaign, but also the park tour I've been doing for the last 2 months of this campaign. I have been doing prior to that. My goal is that by the end of this campaign, I will have visited all 78 parks in Huntington Beach, and there's a 79th one to come to that I've already been to, and that's a big part of my effort. I was very involved in keeping the Michael E. Rogers Park, 17th Street Park, as public land. We're still working to honor Mr. Rogers with 2 plaques at the Huntington Beach, one at the old park and one at Senior Center in Central Park. So we recognize him not only in the old Senior Center, but in the new at the site he worked at for so many years, but at the new Senior Center to recognize his important contributions to the senior community. What I am doing on the Huntington Beach Historic Resources Board is helping to preserve Huntington Beach's history every day. And that's why I am running for City Council, because I am a historic choice. I have the experience needed to do so. We want Amory Hanson because he has experience. Now, there are some people out there who think Amory Hanson is not a realistic possibility. And there have been people who have been calling for me to withdraw in favor of 4 candidates. Certainly, I don't want those candidates to withdraw either. Let me be very clear on that. Those 4, as well as the other 16, are people... is it 16? Now it's only 14. Those 4, along with the other 14, are people I either don't know, or if I know them, I've had the privilege of working with them, or I've the privilege of knowing them if they're not involved yet. But to say that Amory Hanson is an inexperienced candidate that he can't win is not reality. Amory Hanson is in fact the candidate, Mr. Amory Hanson, the candidate with the most experience in a Huntington Beach Deliberative Assembly of those candidates who are currently on a Huntington Beach Deliberative Assembly. He's actually one of only 4 candidates currently on a Huntington Beach Deliberative Assembly, despite the fact that we have 18 candidates this year, nearly breaking the record. And in terms of peak candidates before some withdrew, we were at 24. 24, imagine that. And technically, there's still 3 more days to come, so we got some time. What I'm doing here is starting our park tour, and I'm very proud to be here. We hope more people will come in the future what we want is to preserve our history. So I hope you will consider voting for Mr. Amory Hanson, a historic choice, who has filed for the campaign this year. I want to talk about one more thing we're doing. This is involving my role, and I do want to know also I was recently elected proudly as Vice Chairman of the Huntington Beach Historic Resources Board, and I want to recognize Mr. David E. Wemper Sr., our previous Vice Chairman, for his service. And I want to note that the Historic Resources Board and the library are going to be working on a big event coming up at Huntington Beach Central Library by coincidence, and Norma Brandel Gibbs project, and it's going to involve the brother of the architect who built Central Park, as well as the son of the architect. The two architects who built Central Library were Mr. Richard Neutra and Mr. Dion Neutra, and they were father and son. Richard Neutra died, so Dion Neutra took over. We have coming to Dion Neutra's brother, Mr. Dion Neutra's brother, and Mr. Richard Neutra's son, Dr. Raymond Neutra. And Dr. Raymond Neutra is an MD, but he's also obviously has a familial connection, and he's going to be speaking next August 26th at 3 p.m. at the Huntington Beach Central Library. I hope you'll all consider coming. It's a great event. It's going to be a great honor for him to tour the library again, and we're really excited about that. I want to thank everyone, and I do want to tell one more story because I really believe it involves my campaign to a certain extent, about Norma Brandel Gibbs. When she came to the library that she was so proud to be involved in opening, she was not yet mayor. She was what we would call today mayor pro tempore. It was back then called vice mayor, although now they're trying to change it again. I don't know why. I would say vote no on that. But Norma Brandel Gibbs went to the library, and there was, of course, the big plaque for all 7 councilmen at the time, and there was a second plaque that had been hidden in the library. And Dion Neutra, I mentioned his father passed away. He came in and took Norma Gibbs out and said, Councilwoman Gibbs, I would like to have you come and see this new plaque. And she came out all right. She came out, they went in to see the plaque. And inside was a hidden plaque that said, Norma Gibbs, she listened. What I believe is that we in Huntington Beach on the City Council and all the deliberative assemblies need to listen to the residents, something that has not necessarily been the case the last 2 years. And I'm determined to do that. And that's why I bring that story up. Again, a great story, and for years we didn't know that, but our board found that plaque, helped find that plaque, and I'm proud of that because it's a great story, and I'm glad Mayor Gibbs shared it with us before she died. Once again, I thank everyone for coming. We're having another event at Earl Irby Park next week. That's over on Ruby Drive, a little down more toward Warner, I think, maybe Edinger. Great park there though, and very close to here, named after another former mayor, Earl Irby. And I want to thank everyone for coming. And again, please consider voting for Mr. Amory Hanson, a historic choice. Thank you.